To call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry. Great.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream.
The question caught everyone off guard. Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, the interviewer asked, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? Clark smiled before delivering the kind of answer that perfectly reflected her personality. I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry. It was a lighthearted exchange, but it also revealed something much bigger. Very few athletes ever reach a point where they're compared to one of basketball's greatest shooters. By that stage, Caitlin Clark wasn't just another rising rookie, she had become one of the biggest stories in sports. That level of attention didn't happen overnight. During her career at Iowa, Clark transformed ordinary college basketball games into must-watch events. Fans packed arenas hours before tip-off, television audiences reached record highs, and highlight reels of her deep three-pointers spread across social media almost instantly. According to the transcript, the NCAA championship game featuring Clark attracted nearly 10 million viewers, while major outlets praised her extraordinary impact on television ratings. Whether people were longtime basketball fans or simply curious about the player everyone was talking about, they tuned in to watch. When Clark declared for the WNBA draft, the excitement only intensified. The Indiana Fever didn't just add a talented rookie, they suddenly became one of the league's biggest attractions. Tickets sold quickly, road arenas filled with visiting fans hoping to see her in person, and every game became a major event. The transcript even describes supporters traveling long distances just for the chance to watch Clark play or collect an autograph. That kind of demand is rare in professional sports, and it signaled that her popularity had already grown beyond the court. The business world noticed just as quickly as basketball fans did. Nike secured Clark with a long-term endorsement agreement, announced plans for a signature shoe, and generated enormous anticipation among sneaker enthusiasts. Every appearance in a new player-exclusive design sparked fresh speculation online, while jerseys and merchandise became some of the league's most sought-after items. For brands, this wasn't just about selling products, it was evidence that Clark had become one of the most marketable athletes in the game. But perhaps the most surprising development wasn't the crowds, the endorsements, or even the record-breaking ratings. It was the fact that, before long, Caitlin Clark's name began appearing alongside discussions of a multi-billion-dollar WNBA business deal. That raised an obvious question: how did one player become so closely connected to one of the biggest financial stories in the history of women's basketball? Just a few weeks ago, social media exploded with headlines claiming that Caitlin Clark had signed a $3 billion deal. It was the kind of headline designed to stop people from scrolling, and for many fans, it sounded believable given Clark's incredible popularity. But once you look beyond the viral posts, the real story is both more accurate and arguably far more significant. There's no confirmed report that Caitlin Clark personally signed a $3 billion contract. The billion-dollar figure actually refers to the WNBA's landmark media rights agreement, a deal that could reshape the league for years to come. According to the information referenced in the transcript, the WNBA reached an 11-year media rights agreement valued at approximately $2 billion, with the total potentially rising to around $3 billion if additional broadcast rights packages are finalized. Instead of being tied to one athlete, the agreement covers the league as a whole and includes major media partners such as ESPN, NBC, and Amazon. For the first time in league history, the WNBA is positioned to receive a level of television investment that reflects its rapidly growing audience and commercial appeal. That distinction matters because it completely changes the conversation. Rather than asking how one player could earn billions of dollars, the real question becomes why so many people immediately connected Caitlin Clark's name to a league-wide business agreement. The answer isn't found in the contract itself, it's found in the timing. Clark entered the WNBA during one of the most important periods of growth the league has ever experienced, and her arrival coincided with record-breaking television ratings, sold-out arenas, and unprecedented public attention. Those are confirmed developments. What is not confirmed is the claim that the media rights agreement happened because of Clark alone. The league has spent years expanding its audience, strengthening sponsorships, and investing in its players. At the same time, Clark's extraordinary popularity has undeniably introduced millions of new viewers to women's basketball. Separating those two realities is essential because they are often blended together in online discussions, even though they are not the same thing. This is exactly where the debate begins. Some fans see Clark as the catalyst who accelerated the WNBA's rise at the perfect moment. Others argue that the league's historic agreement reflects decades of work by players, coaches, executives, broadcasters, and sponsors who steadily built the foundation long before Clark arrived. Both perspectives continue to dominate sports conversations, but the confirmed facts remain clear. The $3 billion figure belongs to the WNBA's media rights story, not to Caitlin Clark's personal earnings. The more fascinating question is why one player's name has become so closely associated with the league's biggest financial milestone, and that's where the story becomes even more compelling. The biggest reason Caitlin Clark became the center of this business conversation wasn't because of a single game or a single headline, it was because the attention surrounding her never seemed to slow down. Every milestone created another wave of interest. Record-breaking performances led to bigger television audiences. Bigger audiences attracted more media coverage. More coverage generated even greater fan demand. Before long, Clark wasn't simply one of the WNBA's newest stars, she had become one of the most talked about athletes in all of sports. That momentum first became impossible to ignore during her final seasons at Iowa. Her games consistently produced some of the highest television ratings in the history of women's college basketball, drawing millions of viewers who wanted to witness her deep shooting range and record-setting performances. According to the transcript, the NCAA championship game featuring Clark attracted nearly 10 million viewers, while major publications pointed to her remarkable influence on television audiences. Whether fans supported Iowa or not, many tuned in simply because they didn't want to miss whatever she might do next. When Clark entered the WNBA as the Indiana Fever's first overall pick, that interest didn't disappear, it followed her. Home games quickly became some of the league's hottest tickets, and away arenas also experienced increased attendance whenever the Fever came to town. The transcript even describes fans driving long distances just to watch Clark play or hoping for a chance to get an autograph after the game. That kind of sustained demand is exactly what leagues, broadcasters, and sponsors hope to see because it demonstrates that interest extends far beyond one local fan base. The commercial impact became even more visible through her partnership with Nike. According to the transcript, Clark signed an 8-year endorsement agreement that includes her own signature basketball shoe. During interviews, she remained careful not to reveal future plans, telling fans they would simply have to wait and see. That brief response was enough to spark widespread speculation online, with sneaker enthusiasts analyzing player-exclusive designs, discussing possible releases, and eagerly anticipating her first official signature model. The excitement wasn't limited to basketball, it extended into the broader consumer market. Merchandise demand added another layer to the story. The transcript notes that Clark's jerseys sold extremely well and highlights growing anticipation surrounding her signature footwear. Every new product announcement generated fresh discussion across sports media and social platforms, reinforcing her position as one of the most recognizable faces in women's basketball. For brands, that kind of engagement represents more than popularity, it reflects a powerful ability to capture public attention and drive consumer interest. Still, it's important to separate confirmed trends from broader interpretations. The confirmed facts show that Clark has attracted extraordinary audiences, secured major endorsement deals, and generated significant demand for merchandise. Whether those achievements alone transformed the WNBA's business outlook remains a matter of debate. But there is little doubt that broadcasters, advertisers, and corporate sponsors noticed the surge in attention. The bigger question wasn't whether Caitlin Clark had become a commercial force, it was whether that momentum was part of a much larger shift that convinced the sports industry the WNBA had entered an entirely new era. By this point, the conversation is no longer just about Caitlin Clark, it has become about the business transformation of the WNBA itself. Endorsement deals and sold-out arenas may grab headlines, but television networks don't commit billions of dollars based on short-term excitement. They invest because they believe an audience will continue to grow, advertisers will continue to spend, and the product will become even more valuable over time. That's exactly why the league's new media rights agreement has drawn so much attention across the sports industry. According to the transcript, the WNBA's new media rights agreement is valued at approximately $2 billion over 11 years, with the potential to reach around $3 billion if additional rights packages are finalized. That's a dramatic increase compared with previous agreements and signals a new level of confidence in the league's future. Even more significant is the list of companies involved. Major broadcasters, including ESPN, NBC, and Amazon, are expected to carry WNBA games, giving the league far greater national exposure than ever before. But media companies didn't arrive at this decision overnight. For years, women's basketball has been steadily building momentum through stronger competition, expanding corporate partnerships, improved television production, and growing fan engagement. Attendance has climbed, sponsorship opportunities have increased, and social media has made star players more visible than ever. Every one of those developments helped strengthen the league's business case long before the latest media deal was announced. Then came a surge in public attention that accelerated the conversation. Record television audiences, packed arenas, and increased merchandise sales demonstrated that demand for women's basketball was reaching new heights. For broadcasters, those trends represented more than impressive statistics, they represented opportunity. Larger audiences attract advertisers, advertisers increase revenue, and stronger revenue creates a more valuable media property. That's the cycle every network hopes to find, and the WNBA has increasingly shown signs of entering that phase. It's also important to recognize that this growth reflects the contributions of many people. Established stars, rising young talent, coaches, league executives, corporate sponsors, and media partners have all played roles in expanding the WNBA's reach. Caitlin Clark has become one of the league's biggest attractions, but she entered a league that had already spent years building credibility and investing in its future. The current business momentum is best understood as the result of multiple forces coming together at the right time rather than a single event or one individual. That's what makes this moment so remarkable. The conversation has moved far beyond endorsement deals and individual popularity. It has become a discussion about the long-term value of women's professional basketball and why some of the world's largest media companies believe the WNBA deserves a much bigger place in the sports landscape. But even with billions now committed to the league's future, one debate continues to dominate every discussion. Who deserves the most credit for helping the WNBA reach this turning point? The numbers are impressive, the headlines are everywhere, and there's little disagreement that the WNBA is experiencing one of the strongest periods of growth in its history. Where the conversation becomes far more complicated is when people ask a simple question: who deserves the most credit? That's where the debate begins, and it's one that has divided fans, analysts, former players, and media personalities across the sports world. One side believes the answer is obvious. They point to Caitlin Clark's record-breaking television audiences in college, the surge in ticket demand after she joined the Indiana Fever, her high-profile Nike partnership, and the enormous attention surrounding nearly every appearance she makes. According to the transcript, Clark's games attracted unprecedented interest, her merchandise generated strong demand, and her arrival coincided with increased national coverage of the WNBA. Supporters argue these aren't isolated moments, they're evidence that Clark introduced millions of new fans to the league and accelerated its commercial momentum at exactly the right time. Several public figures have echoed that perspective. The transcript includes comments from Charles Barkley, who praised Clark's impact and argued that she has helped bring greater visibility and financial opportunities to the WNBA. Other analysts also described her as a major reason broadcasters, sponsors, and casual sports fans are paying closer attention to women's basketball. These are verified opinions expressed by commentators, but they should not be interpreted as proof that Clark alone transformed the league's business outlook. The opposing viewpoint focuses on the years that came before Clark's professional debut. Many analysts argue the WNBA's current success reflects decades of work by players, coaches, executives, broadcasters, and investors who steadily built the league's reputation. Stars such as Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Breanna Stewart, Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, and many others helped elevate the quality of play, attract sponsors, and grow the fan base long before today's business headlines. From this perspective, Clark arrived during a period of accelerating growth rather than creating that growth by herself. The confirmed facts support parts of both arguments. The WNBA's media rights agreement was negotiated on behalf of the entire league, not a single player. At the same time, Clark has undeniably become one of the league's most recognizable and marketable athletes, drawing extraordinary public attention that has kept the WNBA in the national spotlight. What cannot be confirmed is exactly how much influence any one player had on the league's business negotiations, because no official source has attributed the agreement primarily to Clark. Perhaps that's why this debate continues to resonate. It isn't simply about Caitlin Clark or even the WNBA, it's about how sports evolve. Does one generational talent change the course of a league, or does that athlete become the face of momentum that has been building for years? The answer may never be universally agreed upon, but as the league enters a new financial era, the discussion itself highlights just how much women's basketball has grown, and why its future has become one of the most closely watched stories in sports. As the debate continues, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: the biggest impact of this moment may not be measured by today's headlines but by what happens over the next decade. A landmark media rights agreement can do far more than generate attention. It can create the financial foundation for long-term growth. If the league continues to attract larger audiences and stronger commercial support, the benefits could extend far beyond one season, one television contract, or even one generation of players. One of the most closely watched areas will be player compensation. The transcript notes that the WNBA's new media rights agreement is expected to bring substantially more revenue into the league over the coming years. While future salary increases have not been officially determined, many analysts believe additional revenue could eventually lead to higher maximum contracts, improved player benefits, and greater investment in team resources. Any significant changes would ultimately depend on future collective bargaining negotiations between the league and the Players Association, making this one of the most important stories to follow. The opportunities don't end with salaries. Increased television investment also means greater exposure for players across the league. More nationally televised games, expanded studio programming, and broader digital coverage can introduce fans to a wider range of stars, helping elevate both established veterans and emerging talent. Greater visibility also strengthens the league's appeal to corporate sponsors, creating new endorsement opportunities that may not have existed just a few years ago. If those trends continue, today's business momentum could benefit far more players than just the league's biggest names. There is also growing optimism about the WNBA's future beyond its current markets. Although no league expansion plans are confirmed in the transcript, sustained financial growth often gives professional sports leagues more flexibility to add franchises, reach new cities, and create additional roster opportunities. More teams would mean more players realizing professional careers, more local fan bases supporting the league, and an even larger national footprint. That's the kind of long-term impact media companies and investors are hoping to see when they commit to agreements of this scale. Perhaps the most exciting possibility is the one that can't yet be measured. Young athletes watching today's stars may grow up entering a league with greater financial stability, stronger television coverage, and more commercial opportunities than any previous generation experienced. Whether they become future all-stars, Olympic champions, or the next household name, they'll be stepping into a landscape shaped by years of investment and accelerating public interest. And that's why this story ultimately extends beyond Caitlin Clark, beyond one media rights agreement, and beyond any single headline. The confirmed facts show that the WNBA is entering a period of unprecedented visibility and investment. The debate over who deserves the most credit will likely continue, but history often remembers turning points only after their full impact becomes clear. Years from now, this period may be viewed not simply as the rise of one extraordinary player, but as the moment women's professional basketball entered a new era, one whose greatest chapters may still be waiting to be written.